Hey guys, quick reminder, I have merch now, Prisk.shop. Look, that's the link. This is one of the shirts. There's a lot of shirts. You can go check it out. It's not an NFT. You can actually wear it if you buy it. It's pretty awesome. Okay, add over. Go check it out. Prisk.shop. Bye. I've talked about a lot of scams and schemes on this channel before, you know, like those Starseed booksellers, the AI scammers, all sorts of stuff like that. But what I've somehow never touched on is NFTs. If you're unaware, NFTs are these unique digital assets that represent ownership of digital art. Basically, you buy an online image of something like this monkey, and now he's your monkey and no one else's, right? Now, it's not like a painting or anything. It's entirely digital. So basically, it's like a Bitcoin, like an image. You only own the digit. Hey, are you taking pictures of my monkey? So a few nights ago, one of my friends sent me the trailer for this movie, and I just dropped everything I was doing to go watch it because it looks so stupid. NFT Cursed Images is a real movie that really exists about evil NFTs that come to kill you. Also, it was released in 2026. I'm a little late to the trend, guys. What really intrigued me, though, is that it actually won a bunch of awards during its festival run, including like Best Feature Film, Best Actor, Best Actress. Even some of the reviews were surprising at how good they were. Like this guy said, "The Ring for a new generation." Yeah, man, I'm sure it is. So the movie opens up with Sue and Mark walking down some evil-ass alleyway, right? Oh, also they're British. I know. Sue's kind of tweaking out, and Mark asks what's wrong, so she tells him about this NFT that her friend sent her, right? And to my absolute shock, he starts going off on her about how NFTs are scams, and he's disappointed in her for even buying into it, right?
Babe, don't tell me you're getting into those online scams, man.
And look, I mean no offense when I say this. This guy being anti-NFT just kind of surprised me, I'm gonna be honest. This dude, really? She keeps trying to tell him that she saw, I guess, the NFT that was on her phone walking around in front of them, but he just keeps going, what the hell are you talking about, lady?
Babe, what?
Like this entire scene is her just going, that's the guy. That's the guy. I just saw him. That's a monkey on your phone. No, he's real, I swear. She explains a little bit more that her friend sent her this NFT and then started acting super weird, saying that the image was cursed or whatever. You know, kind of like Smile Dog, right? Or like the tape from The Ring. Holy shit. That review was right. It's all coming together now. Mark goes missing. Sue tries to run away before she gets attacked by the evil NFT creature. And then we cut over to the title card. We come back to this group of crypto traders who are the most pretentious assholes I have ever seen in a movie. I'm just hoping they're meant to be these pretentious assholes in the script, because if this is what the writer thinks normal dialogue is...
Hey man, if you didn't ape in and lose money on every single project you invested in, then maybe you could be mooring next to me now.
Kinda scared. Or it's San Francisco. I mean, seriously though, the opener is just them rapidly firing buzzwords at each other, talking about aping, mining, staking, meme coins. I feel like they're casting some kind of chud wizardry spell on me. And it just keeps getting worse. Like when this guy goes on a rant about how millennials were fucked entering the job market because of the 2008 housing crisis, and he phrases it like no other generation has had historically terrible job markets. This whole scene feels like one of those tech movies where they just start throwing a bunch of buzzwords or acronyms at you to make you feel like they know what they're talking about, and you know, they're knowledgeable on this stuff. Like Hackers with Angelina Jolie. Except that movie's kind of awesome. I'm sorry, that movie rocks. Later into the party, two more girls show up, and apparently there's crypto beef. This dude in the middle, James, has some sort of history with one of the girls that walked in, Cass, because things get freaking awkward. Maybe he aped her fungible tokens on the block market. Am I saying that right? I hope not. The girls all go to the bathroom together, and we learn that James and Cass broke up recently, and I have to say, all the dialogue feels pretty natural. Like, no one feels super out of place, or like they're just not on the level of like being in a movie. For an indie film, the acting is surprisingly good. It's just what they're talking about that sucks. They all go back to the couch, and we get some more slightly awkward NFT talk.
You don't know what NFTs are.
I know what they are, I don't have any.
Well, you're missing out. Or you've been living under a rock.
This is the part of the movie that I don't get. Like, are we in some bizarro world where everybody just knows what an NFT is? Like, there's some secret class in the UK that teaches NFTs that this guy missed out on? Like, these things lasted for like 2 years max. And the only people still talking about them today are like Logan Paul. Yeah. And this movie, I guess.
Alright, so let's say I wanted to get into NFTs. Hypothetically, how would you go about starting?
Blue. So you want to join the NFT universe, James, is that it?
It's the metaverse.
Ooh, okay, wow. I feel like I just got punched in the throat. That was rough. I'm not even joking. This entire, like, 30-minute stretch at the beginning of the movie is just his friends trying to tell him what NFTs are and arguing over which ones are good. I feel like I'm stuck in an ad for NFTs. Like, I feel like they're just begging me to buy a Bored Ape or some shit, you know? Lucky for us, though, everything gets interrupted when all of a sudden Kit gets sent 7 creepy NFTs. Terrifying, I know, right? I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm actually not in a seat. I'm standing. Hold on, Prisk. First, we gotta talk about today's sponsor, Saily. If you've ever landed in a new country and immediately needed access to the internet, probably to watch more of these, then you know how hard it is to try to find Wi-Fi or find a new SIM card. Well, that's where Saily comes in. It's an eSIM app from the creators of NordVPN, and it basically gives you instant mobile data in over 200 destinations. What I like is that you only have to install the eSIM once, and then you can just switch plans whenever you travel, so there's no swapping SIM cards or like using a payphone. Oh, am I kidding? No one uses a pay. You just open the app, pick a country or even a regional plan if you're bouncing around a few places, and you're good to go. It's also just way more affordable than roaming, and it saves you from getting scammed at those shady bodegas outside the airport. I know you know what I'm talking about. As a nice little cherry on top, it has built-in security features like ad blocking and web protection, which can actually save you data and keep you browsing safer while you're on the go. So if you're traveling anytime soon, make sure to do it with Saily, and you can get an exclusive 15% discount on Saily data plans if you use code Prisk at checkout. Huh? Okay, now back to those 7 evil NFTs, I guess. Ooh. He tells the group that he got these, and this girl Sarah gives a giant info dump on them. Basically, the NFTs are cursed. If you hold on for them for too long, you start seeing demons and shit, right? So it's literally just Smile Dog, but they put it on the blockchain. Did Mark Zuckerberg write this movie? Why is this a thing? Now, because Kit is the crazy, evil asshole of the group, after he hears that they're all cursed, he decides to send every person their own unique NFT for it, and they all start showing these around to each other, you know, definitely not important or set up for anything that's gonna happen later, and then they all just head home for the night. Also, when they're showing all of these NFTs around to each other, our main character James got these conjoined twins, but he refers to them as the old term Siamese twins, then looks straight into the camera and goes, I don't think we can say that anymore.
I got the Siamese twins. Pretty sure I'm not allowed to say that anymore, but creepy.
So why'd you say it? I don't. Why'd you say it, James? Why is it in the script? I don't. Later that night, after everyone's gone, we come back to Kit, who's just chilling in his bed, until he hears some chittering around the room and thinks a rat's gotten loose. He starts walking around trying to find what's making that. Oh my god. That was so fucking loud. Anyways, after Kit recovers his hearing, he looks up and sees the evil-ass lady from his NFT. Ah! Oh, wow. She kind of looks like a creature from Supernatural. No offense to Supernatural, that show is fire, but if you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Kit starts freaking out, she starts walking towards him slowly, and then she hits him with this shitty Mandela catalog face stretching, and then we cut away. Okay, I guess he's dead. We cut back to Cass and Julia. Julia's having some marital problems with Naz, so she's over there for the night. But suddenly Cass realizes she forgot something over at Kit's house, but Julia doesn't want to come with her because she's like, oh, I'm tired. So Cass calls James to come with her so she doesn't go alone. Wow, there are way too many names constantly going around. This shit sucks. I will say I did really like this shot of him going down the elevator. I think it was a pretty fun shot. I think they could have done something cooler with it, like having one of the floors have the twins like standing there like, but it's still pretty fun. While James heads to Cass's house, we cut over to Sarah when she all of a sudden gets a text from Kit saying, I can see you. She pretty reasonably responds with a, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? But he keeps going saying, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna get you, and then sends her that NFT from earlier and sends her NFT. So she's just walking home like, oh my god. Also, really weird, she was incredibly insistent on walking home. Like, her friends kept practically begging her to go in the Uber with them. They were like gonna pay for it and everything, but she just kept going like, nah dude, I'm good. I know Krav Maga, I'll make it home. Why? Your friends are gonna pay for your Uber, just fucking drive home. Like, it's not a big deal. She keeps walking until she gets to this bridge where she runs into the creature, who's just standing there. Hello, Sarah. One of my favorite things in horror movies is just seeing the creature design, so I was really happy that this movie had a bunch of creatures. Even if they're not done super well, I just like seeing what the creatures are, you know? This movie's structure reminds me a lot of that movie Tarot. Remember where all the tarot cards attack the people and everyone's got like a different card coming after them? Except the creatures in this movie are like guy in hoodie and like woman with big mouth, so they weren't great, but I still liked seeing them, you know? So Sarah obviously dies to this dude, and we come back to Cass and James, who have arrived back at Kit's house. They get to the door, and they notice it's ajar, and Cass starts getting creeped out. They walk in and find Cass's phone, but they also find blood, ooh, on the floor. I wonder what it's worth on the blockchain. That doesn't even make sense. They start freaking out and immediately trying to call Kit and Sarah, and I'm just thinking like, turn on a light, guys, damn. They're just sitting in the room in complete darkness like, do you fucking see that, dude?
What is that?
Do you see that right there? Like, you just found your friend's bloodied and trashed apartments. I would call the cops. Why are you just calling your friend like, yo, dude, you good? No! Clearly he's not good. They look around more and they find nothing, so for God knows what reason, Cass decides they should split up, with her going alone to Sarah's house and James trying to check in with Nez, the turtleneck guy. Why is everyone's plan in this movie just walking home alone? Like, is this like a British thing that I don't know about? It's 3 in the morning and your friend is missing. Maybe don't walk down You Will Die Tonight Boulevard, you know? Like, it just feels like a bad idea. Also, while they're in Kit's apartment, they keep seeing reflections of the lady that like killed him, but they don't get attacked by her, which just kind of doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, are these supposed to be like spirits trapped in the NFT, but they still can like linger around? Or is it more like a curse like The Ring? None of this really makes sense, and none of it is like The Ring. I'm sorry, the further we get, the more that review pisses me off, because this is not The Ring for a new generation, dude. You gotta delete that. If you're watching this video and you wrote that review, delete it now. Anyways, James and Cass head their separate ways, and we cut over to Dan, the elder millennial, on his walk home. While walking home, he suddenly spots I think he called it upside down man, and he just runs the fuck away. He sprints away. And I'm so happy. This honestly bumped the movie up a few points to just have a protagonist that just fucking runs away when he sees the creature. Also, I think Dan's creature is easily the best design of the movie. It was actually pretty creepy design. I think they did a good job with him, and I think it was all practical, which is always a win in my book. You know, it kind of brought me back into the movie because I was like, oh, that's actually kind of like a cool creature. This is immediately followed up by this guy Ness watching a crypto tutorial video on YouTube. This is a real video from a real channel, by the way. Like, this is a real guy, and I want to know if he knows he's in this movie. Do you think they contacted him, or they were just like, yeah, throw it in there? Dan calls Ness, and he is freaking out. You know, we get some info dump from Dan. He started researching these curses and like how to stop them and everything. But Ness is just sitting there, and he keeps saying shit like, Dan, stop it. I'll have absolutely none of it. I'm in no mood. I'm in no mood. I really like how he says mood. He keeps saying this and then eventually hangs up on Dan, but right after he does, his girlfriend Julia comes in and is basically saying the same thing. She's like, oh my God, I'm being followed. I need you to help. Giga Brain Ness automatically assumes Dan and Julia are pranking him instead of believing his girlfriend that she was being followed home alone at night. And he just starts getting really fucking annoying and rude.
Julia, I'm in no mood.
He tells her off, saying he's having none of it again. He's in no mood. Until all of a sudden, James also calls him and tells him Kit and Sarah are both missing and he's also seeing some weird shit. So Ness, in his infinite wisdom, still believes this is all one giant prank, so he takes Julia's phone and tries to force her to apologize for something.
Apologize for your horrible behavior this evening first. Then, I'll give you your phone back.
He kept saying she was being a dick all night at the party, but she genuinely has like one line, and it's, hey guys. So I don't really know where that's coming from, but okay. This culminates in the two fighting and breaking up, and now Julia is headed back to her friend Cass's house to get away from Ness, right? So Julia's walking home here, and I have to say, the camera work is pretty fun. I think they overused the handheld shots and the Dutch angles just a little bit, but they were pretty good at finding some evil-ass, creepy-ass alleyways in London, which I'm sure is really hard to find. That being said, they were not very good at Julia's NFT. Hello. Or her reaction. I mean, I don't really know what I was expecting, but maybe like a scream, or like maybe more than just a... She kind of looked like she was waiting for the cue and just missed it, and they're like, oh, just run with it, you know? After this, we cut over to Ness, who was taking a shower until he heard some pounding at the door. I don't really know why he's scared, because he said James could cut him over, but he's like freaking out, right? He starts creeping down the hallway until all of a sudden this Sydney Sweeney looking girl pops out walking behind him. And I think this shot was almost really cool, but then they just cut away. They don't do anything with it. It's just done. They do this with pretty much everyone. They show the creature for a split second like a FNAF jump scare, then they fuck off to the next character. Like, don't get me wrong, the jump scares are well done. If you like jump scares, some of them are pretty good, but the immediate cutaways to just something completely different kind of resets the suspense instead of building on it. You know what I mean? Anyways, James shows up to Ness's house and Dan actually calls him before he goes in to tell him that he needs to show that creature, the Sydney Sweeney girl, its own reflection to stop it, which I think is hilarious because he goes, oh, okay, cool. And then he takes a picture of it, flips the camera around. There's no like mirror or glass or anything like that. He just flips the camera and goes, yo, Ghost, you are ugly as fuck right now. You gotta look at this, bro. And the ghost just like, oh my god, I am! It just vanishes. Also, Ness did die, so I guess that's something. James calls Dan back and they discuss what just happened, and I do like that Dan turned into this like man in the chair figure for the movie. While I do kind of wish they had all met up at one point, I'm glad there's at least someone here trying to figure out what's going on, you know? Honestly, I think if this movie wasn't about fucking evil NFTs, I actually think it would have been pretty good, but every time they bring it up, I just get like catapulted out of the story.
The NFT fucking came to life and killed Nez. We need to call the police.
Like, you can't look at scenes like that and tell me this doesn't feel like a Smosh parody skit, you know? Like, I personally love innovative and unique ideas in horror, and I'm not against tech being in horror at all. I know that's a lot of gripes people have is like technology and horror. I think that's fine, but there are some topics and setups that just do not work, you know? Like, I don't care if you're John Carpenter or Robert Eggers. I don't think anyone can make a legitimately scary movie that's themed around NFTs, you know? Because the second you bring up that they're NFTs, like, how am I supposed to take that seriously? I'm sorry, I just can't. Anyways, James wants to help Cass get rid of her demon, so they figure out that hers is a wall crawler from Japanese mythology, but then Dan's like, damn, dude, I can't figure out any info on how to stop it. Which is really funny because I looked up how to defeat it on Google and the AI overview said use water breathing technique 6 whirlpool. So clearly this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, you know? I think we all owe a big thank you to the AI overview because I love that I am forced to use this whenever I make a Google search no matter what. Isn't that awesome? It's so helpful. Oh, also James's demon shows up and it's the twins that he mentioned earlier, and these guys are my least favorite creature, to be honest. They don't look great. They kind of look like something you'd see in like a quick flash from Ghost Adventures or something. Anyways, while James is getting hunted down by the ladies, we cut over to Dan who has to run from the upside down girl. He gets backed into a corner and all hope seems lost until the creature just suddenly vanishes. Why, you might ask? Well, his fucking NFTs sold on the blockchain or whatever it's called. Wow. Just wow. Dan quickly calls James to let him know that he has to sell his NFT to get them gone. And James, in his moment of panic, transfers the NFT to Dan's wallet. Just straight to him. Why? Why? James actually just straight up kills this guy. The creatures come in and just murder him. What the fuck was that? Why is this a what? And now, to be fair, I mean, James just seems super broken up by it. You know, he's walking around 5 seconds later calling Cass like literally nothing happened. He calls her and tells her to sell the NFT as quick as possible, and she's just like, oh, I already gave it to some random guy on Twitter. Wow, James. Wow, isn't that a good idea, James? Wow, James, it's crazy. You can just give it to anyone?
Yeah, I just gave it to some random guy on Twitter.
You can do that?
No shit, Sherlock, you can do that. What do you want? But now, you're probably wondering, hey man, everyone got rid of their NFTs. James and Cass's are both gone. Why is the movie still going, right? Well, James heads up to Sarah's house to meet Cass like she told him to. But once he gets there, he starts to realize that's not Cass. Suddenly, we flash back to Cass when she got there and she finds Sarah, but it's not Sarah. Yeah, I guess Sarah's demon possessed her and then she attacked Cass with it because we come back to James, who I just want to point out somehow took the entire night to get over there. I mean, it's broad daylight outside of those windows, but that's besides the point because he gets up there, he sees Cass, she turns around, lightly smiles at him, she's gotta brush her teeth, and then the movie ends. That's it. That's the end of the movie. Wasn't that awesome, guys? Wow! This movie's actually really short. It's only an hour and 13 minutes, which, to be fair, it's a film festival indie film, so I wasn't expecting like a 3-hour epic. But I do still think the short runtime hurt the overall story because they weren't able to flesh it out as much or really build that tension there, you know? Well, that and the NFTs. that also kind of hurts the story. I mean, seriously, this movie's best parts are when you completely forget that the demons are cursed NFTs off the blockchain. I mean, this whole movie, I feel like Lenny from Mice and Men, and when they bring it up, I feel like he just pulled the trigger. I'm not trying to be all negative because there are genuinely really good parts here. I mean, the acting is solid, the camera work is good, the characters feel real, albeit weirdly knowledgeable about the metaverse. This movie is not entirely ass. There's really good bones to it. The problem is it just really feels like one giant ad for NFTs. This feels like Mac and Me if like a crypto bro made it. After I finished the movie, I genuinely checked to see if they were selling NFTs for this movie, and I was surprised that they're not. I think this genuinely would have been better if it was just a cursed image movie like The Ring or even a Smile Dog scenario, but instead they put this weird NFT skin over the whole thing that just really devalues it. Like, I feel like I'm watching a decent horror movie that's just been covered in sludge. Like they got Nickelodeon slimed all over it. But hey, that was NFT Cursed Images. I think it had some really strong parts, but it just took itself way too seriously for a movie where the villain is a haunted JPEG, you know? I think if they really wanted to keep the whole NFT angle, it would have felt a lot better to be very tongue-in-cheek with it, or just like done a horror comedy movie. Because trying to get me to take this story seriously, where they're being hunted by a bunch of bored apes, it's just not gonna happen. But that's about all the time I have. My name is Prisk. Reggie's back there. If you want to buy this shirt, you can. Prisk.shop. I've got merch now. It's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. You should check it out. And I'll see you on the blockchain, baby. It's the future. I'm riding it to the moon.